In this video, we will take a look at a few things that will be coming in 2024 for the OpenAI's ChatGPT platform. I created this video because Sam Altman recently posted a Twitter thread where he discussed some of the features that people want and some of the considerations that he will take into account. He also talked about the features that won't be existing, and I will also show you the supporting evidence to give you a clear idea of what to expect. You can see that this is a Twitter thread, so let's dive right into it without wasting any time. One of the aspects we'll be examining is better reasoning. On the right-hand side, I've included a screenshot from a research paper released earlier this year by Stanford researchers. This paper discusses how GPT-4 has shown a decline in intelligence over time. While this claim hasn't been peer-reviewed yet, many users have reported a similar experience while using ChatGPT. Sam Altman has mentioned better reasoning as one of the things he's considering. We have reasons to believe that better reasoning will be a focus because reasoning has evolved significantly since the launch of GPT-4. For instance, there was a video released by Explained discussing how GPT-4 is smarter than we might think. The video introduces SmartGPT and explains various ways to prompt GPT-4 for better benchmark results. Google's Gemini benchmarks are particularly impressive as they showcase improved reasoning capabilities. While it's unclear which specific methods are the most effective, approaches like tree of thoughts and chain of thought prompting are evolving. Research is ongoing behind the scenes, and we can expect reasoning to improve in the future. Whether the GPT-4 model is updated or replaced, an increase in reasoning capabilities is most likely. Open source models are also catching up, which may surprise some. There will be a video on GPT-4 open source to shed light on the impressive developments in the open source community. This progress suggests that open source models might eventually catch up to GPT-4, which is a noteworthy development. The second point I want to discuss is GPT-5. Some may doubt its arrival, but I will show you some clips from an article that confirm that GPT-5 is officially in training. Despite previous assumptions that GPT-5 was far off, it's likely to arrive in 2024 for several reasons. Google recently released Gemini, a significant competitor to OpenAI. With the excitement surrounding Gemini and its potential capabilities, GPT-4 might face competition from Google. Although we haven't had access to the Gemini model for testing, initial impressions are positive, suggesting that Google is regaining its position at the top again. When Google releases this model, it's likely that GPT-5 will follow. What's also interesting is that the trademark for GPT-5 has been filed. This further supports the expectation that GPT-5 is on its way. The trademark for GPT-5 was filed quite some time ago. I'm not exactly sure when, but I do remember that this trademark was filed. Of course, I'm going to show you some clips from the video where I talk about these things from the article right here, because he actually does state, this isn't speculation. He does talk about how sophisticated GPT-5 is going to be. And he does also mention that GPT-5 is actually in training, and I think it was around 2 months ago. So I'm going to play you guys a clip from that video now.
We can predictably say this much compute, this big of a neural network, this training data, this will be the capabilities of the model. Now, we can predict how it'll score on some tests. What we're really interested in, which gets to the latter part of your question, is can we predict the qualitative new things, just the new capabilities that didn't exist at all in GPT-4 that do exist in future versions like GPT-5. That seems important to figure out. But right now we can say, here's how we predict it'll do on this eval or this. There are a lot of things about coding that I think are a particularly great modality to train these models on. But that won't be, of course, the last thing we train on. I'm very excited to see what happens when we can really do video. Yeah. There's a lot of video content in the world. There's a lot of things that are, I think, much easier to learn with video than text. There's a huge debate in the field about whether a language model can get all the way to AGI. Can you represent everything that you need to know in language? Is language sufficient, or do you have to have video? I personally think it's a dumb question because it probably is possible, but the fastest way to get there, the easiest way to get there will be to have these other representations like video in these models as well. Again, like text is not the best for everything, even if it's...
If you want to watch the full video, you can find it on the channel. I talk about GPT-5, its abilities, potential abilities, and its projected capabilities, given that it is currently in training. So if the model does come out in late to mid-2025, I think that would be a very accurate estimate. The article continues to state that while GPT-5 is likely to be more sophisticated than its predecessors, Altman said it was technically hard to predict exactly what new capabilities and skills the model might have. Although this is well worded by Sam Altman, I don't think that is entirely the case. We do know that it is going to have an LLM base, and we do know that the image capabilities are going to be upgraded. What we've seen from GPT-4 in its current state as it has been evolving is definitely far more sophisticated than what we initially got with GPT. So what is likely to happen is that Altman is just saying that we can't say exactly what new capabilities and skills it might have because, of course, as you know, these things can change if certain things don't work out too well. So he says, until we go train that model, it's like a fun guessing game for us. We're trying to get better at it because I think it's important from a safety perspective to predict the capabilities, but I can't tell you exactly what it's going to do that GPT-4 didn't. This is kind of true because in previous statements, Sam Altman in interviews has talked about GPT-5 and what the future models are going to be like. Here we can predictably say this much. Compute, this big of a neural network, this training data, this will be the capabilities of the model. Now we can predict how it will score on some tests. We're really interested in, which gets to the latter part of your question, can we predict the sort of qualitative new things? Just the new capabilities that didn't exist at all in GPT-4 that do exist in future versions like GPT-5. That seems important to figure out. But right now we can say, here's how we predict it'll do on this eval or this. There are a lot of things about coding that I think are particularly great. Now you can see it says Memory Onboarding Model, Tile, and mentions that your GPT can now learn from your chats. It also encourages keeping the conversation going, stating that your GPT will carry what it learns between chats, allowing it to provide more relevant responses. Additionally, it mentions that it improves over time and becomes more helpful by remembering details and preferences. Let's break down what these points mean. 1. Your GPT can now learn from your chats implies that GPTs, including custom ones, will be able to learn from previous chat interactions. The implementation details are unclear, but OpenAI is likely addressing issues such as prompt injection attacks, which currently pose confidentiality concerns. 2. Keep the conversation going. Suggests that GPTs may summarize past conversations and add them to their memory banks. This would enable more context-aware responses. 3. Improves over time means that as you interact more with your GPT, it will continually improve its understanding of your preferences and needs. 4. As you chat, your GPT will become more helpful. Remembering details and preferences indicates that the GPT will remember information about you, such as your workplace or residence, likes and dislikes. This is a feature that sets OpenAI apart from other language model companies. The delay in rolling out the GPT store might be due to the implementation of these features, as privacy and data security are paramount concerns. Nonetheless, once these features are integrated, OpenAI's GPT models will offer unique capabilities that other models lack, making them even more powerful and personalized. So, it's clear that there are some other features that are coming that we don't know about. I have no idea what those are. Definitely in the comment section below, definitely have a conversation about what could be there, because I'm intrigued to see what you all predict. But I'm not entirely sure what will be coming that isn't on that list, but I guess maybe AI agents isn't on that list, and I guess that's something that would likely be there. So with that being said, if you enjoyed the video, we'll see you on the next one.